Your business is currently designed to deliver the exact results you're currently getting. So with that in mind, just think about your company. What do I want to accomplish different? Do I want to get bigger? Do I want to make more money? Do I want to hire better people? Do I want to have better customers? Do I want to stop being low bid to get work? What's my ultimate goal here as a business owner and manager? And so with that in mind, how many of you made New Year's resolutions for 2019? Anybody? Okay, we got two people that really care. Just kidding. How many people made a New Year's resolution to work out this year? So did I. I did it. January. It's over. I'm done. I got till next year to make it happen. How many of you made a New Year's resolution to build a better business, to reduce your stress, to have your people be more accountable and responsible, all those things, better customers who don't shop your prices and grind you on your change orders, all those kinds of things. What are we doing about that? So today, whether you're a business owner, a manager, a superintendent, maybe you're a sales manager for one of our great sponsors here today, whatever your role is, what am I going to do to make 2019 for the rest of the year? What do we got? 8 more months, 9 more months, depending on how you add, whether you're low bid or not, right? What are we going to do to make it better, right? What are we going to do to make it the best year we've ever had? So just think about those who have written goals. People and business owners and managers who have written goals and written business plans are twice as successful and hit their goals twice as often as those who don't. So really, how many of you have written business goals, written business plan, a written strategic plan to achieve your ultimate goals? Well, we're going to talk, several of you, great. So we're going to talk about the steps to building a great business plan today, what I call the Biz Builder Blueprint. And so I always like to ask by starting, I've got to make sure where I am here. I'm kind of looking behind me here, so it's a little different. But hold on a minute, sorry, I got myself mixed up here. So I'm from Southern California. I'm a general contractor. I started my construction company in 1977 after graduating from the University of Southern California. You've read about them in the paper the last few weeks. Pay to play or whatever it is, right? Pay to enter. But graduated in the top 100% of my class. My parents were pretty proud at graduation. It was the best 7, 8, 9 years of my life. And so I graduated in engineering, went to work for a contractor. And 3 or 4 years later, I started my own company. I started Hedley Construction in Southern California, building industrial and office and commercial buildings. And I grew it to $50 million a year in the mid-80s at an age of 33. I had 150 employees and doing about $50 million a year, starting from basically myself. And think about all the stress and strains and, why me? How did it happen? Am I so great? No, it's just we had a good economy and I just was a pusher. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business builder. And it really, really worked for me. And so today, I've pretty much closed my construction business. I still do a little bit of consulting, but generally today I'm spending most of my time as a business coach. I help contractors build better businesses and become best in class, improve their bottom line. And I also have, as Dave said, I've got some peer groups, which SR Mechanical's been in it for 6 years, plus or minus, and hopefully it's helped them be where they are today. They really do a great job. They're in Salina. I've never been invited to Salina, though. Come anytime. And so my goal is to help contractors build a best-in-class business. So when I say best-in-class, I'm talking about highest profit margins. Do you know what the highest profit margins are for plumbing mechanical contractors in Utah? How many of you have a goal to be at the top 5%? That's what I call best-in-class. I don't call average very successful. Most people are average. They do what they do and they don't strive for excellence. What do I have to do to strive for excellence? That's what I'm all about. Tomorrow I'm going to do a program on building better customers and also managing and finding and keeping people. So maybe that'll fit into your agenda tomorrow. But today we're going to talk about building a better business. And so I want you to think about, what do I have to do to be a business builder? And so I always think most of us are biz builders. And how am I going to get to the next level? I wrote a book a couple years ago. I brought a couple extra copies. If anyone's interested, come up and see me afterwards. And I'll be back tomorrow. Get your construction business to always make a profit. And what I learned was from my coaching clients, I have 50 clients in my peer groups and another 50 plus or minus on a monthly, quarterly basis I work with. And what I've learned is the best in class all do things the same way. They don't let go. They don't not do what they know they need to do. They know their numbers. They have great people who are accountable and responsible. They pay more, they hire the best, and they make the most money. Most try to save their way to success. What are we trying to do? Save money to make more money? It doesn't work that way. You do the best, you be the best, you will make the most, and work the least. So I want you to think about, why am I here? How do I get my company to the next level? What do I need to do to get to the next level? So why are we here? Well, we're here to hopefully have some fun, meet some old friends, support the association across Utah and throughout the United States, of course, and really learn some new ideas from the sponsors, from the vendors, and what can I do? What tips, what silver bullet can I take home to build a better business? What tips and tricks am I willing to implement when I get home? And the key word is implement. Do, not know. I heard somebody say to one of the vendors over here, well, I'll think about it. That means no. That means I'm not going to do anything. If you're going to do something, do it and make it happen and decide what to do. Pick your top 3 or 4 things for the conference and make it happen. So I want you to think about yourself as a head coach. Now, I personally like Pete Carroll. He coached USC to the national championship and the Rose Bowl victory many times a few years ago, and I love Pete Carroll. You look at Pete Carroll. He's a motivator. He's a leader. He's a visionary. He's not a hands-on control freak micromanager who tells everybody what to do all day. In fact, if you look to his left, the offensive coordinator's holding the playbook. Pete doesn't even know what play is coming up. He might consult a little, but the other guy's calling the play. The other guy's working with the team. The assistant coach, the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator are running the business. And I want you to think about yourself, what do I do versus a winning coach? So once I started thinking of myself as a leading, winning Super Bowl coach versus a hands-on control freak micromanager, do it all, make every decision for everybody, I really opened up my vision and my reality of how to build a great business. So I want you to think about what I have to do different to get to another level. If I keep calling the same plays over and over and over again with the same average performers achieving the same results, how long would I keep my job as a head coach? I wouldn't last very long if I was a head coach if I was Bill Belichick, always calling the same play with the same players, right? How long would I keep my job? So I don't care if you like who you like, but what do? They have systems, they have rules, they have playbooks, they have practice, they have training, they have meetings every Monday to go over the plays. Everybody on the team knows the score. They have scoreboards and job cost tracking for contractors. Everybody knows their goal. Nobody's in the dark. Everybody's on the field. Everybody knows what's going on. And that's what I have to do to build a great business. So I want you to think about what I have to do different to get a better result. So you as the head coach have got to call plays every day. And the real question is, what bold new plays, different plays, are you going to take to get your company to go to the next level? So I've got a little white bifold handout there. If you want to take notes here, jot a couple ideas down. If you open it up, just a couple little note-taking ideas if you want to take it along. And I want to thank Kiara. Where's Kiara? Is she in the back? Oh, there she is. Thank you for putting the programs together for us. She's Dave's daughter, right? Thank you very much for doing that. So let's think about what I have to do to build a better business. So I know it's busy. I've got to call different plays. I've got to think about upgrading my players. The old players aren't willing to improve. I've got to upgrade. I've got to either train or replace, right? That's my choice. So I want you to think about, how's business? Business, most of us are pretty busy. Economy's still pretty good. We're super busy. Our profit margins aren't really what they should be for most of us in the room. Profit, what's that, right? I paid my bills, paid my truck payments, I'm okay. That's not good enough. You're in business to make a profit after overhead expenses, which includes the owner, the managers, juicy, generous salaries and benefits, right? So, is your business great? Do you make best-in-class margins of 6, 8, 9% net profit? Best-in-class commercial plumbing mechanical contractors make, the average is 4. The best make 8, 9, 10. Am I the best or am I average? I don't want to be average. How many have a goal to be average? Nobody does, right? We all want to be the best, right? So what do I have to do different to get different results? I want to look at how I get business. Do I keep selling low price? If you just push low price, you're a commodity, and the only thing that matters is price. I don't care how good you are, you're the cheapest, so you're going to get some work. If you're a great company, what are you wasting all your time going after cheap work? Why don't you go after better customers? There's so many things we can think about, right? And what happens when we're busy, we're super busy and broke. We're not making enough money, and we run in circles chasing the dream, but we never get off the treadmill. We never do anything different. We're spinning. We let the economy and our competitors and our customers, if you work for general contractors, you wait for them to call you, and when you bid a job, you wait for them to award you. You're not in control of your future. You're like going down the river hoping you get a call. And hope is not a strategy. So we end up running around in circles all day long, the perfect watch, trying to put out fires, trying to burn the candle at both ends, doing too much yourself, just crazy, right? And so when I was building my business, I was in the same boat. There's my boat. You can see the title, Low Bidder. And somebody said, what do you play, bridge? No, it's not bridge. I'm busy. And imagine how busy you can be if you don't hire the right people and you got to do their job for them. You get a whole bunch of cheap work. You don't have any good help. I can't find any trained help. Well, there aren't any. Get over it. How much training do you do? None. Well, what do you expect? You can't expect for what's not reality. You've got to, I love that app we just saw. It's a great opportunity to start at the bottom and move them up, right? And so what happens when we're super busy, we miss the good opportunities. We're too busy working to make any money. In fact, we come to a conference like this and we shake everybody's hand. Here we go. I'll pick on you because you're right in front. Mr. Pfister, right? Jason. Yep. Busy? Yep. Busy. Busy. Just turn to somebody and go, busy? Come on. Busy? Turn back and say, yeah, I'm busy. Everybody's busy. And so now turn back to them and say, making any money? Room got real quiet on that one. Because we're all busy and not making enough money. What's the problem with that? We're bidding too much cheap work because we have no value-added difference than your competitor. If I'm a general contractor, I don't care if I hire you, or you. You're all the same. What's your price? What do you do to set yourself apart from the competition and be different? And if your glass is full of cheap work, the good stuff comes along, you don't have time to go get it. And so we keep building our own grave. And so I don't know about you, but what are we missing? And of course, are you too busy working to make any money? Here's my old truck, the Low Bid Construction Company. That was my used orange Datsun pickup truck with 97,000 miles on it my dad gave me when I got out of college, and that was my first truck. And there's me going to Home Depot to pick up some lumber. Anybody been to Home Depot this week? You won't admit it, will you? You sent your crew, right? I hope you didn't send your foreman. How many of you sent your foreman to Home Depot or the wholesale house this week, right? How come you didn't send somebody else? What's the whole crew doing when your foreman's gone? Anyway, so think about how I run my business. What opportunities am I missing? So if I look at my business is all about delivering what I want as the business owner. So how many people here are business owners? We got quite a few, right? Well, about half, and then the rest are project managers, supervisors, foremen, sales, estimating, right? And so what's the goal of your company? Your goal of your company is to deliver what the owners want from the business. What results are we aiming at, right? And so I don't know about you, but I always liked construction. I always wanted to be a contractor. My dad was a mobile home park developer, and I thought, well, great, I'll work in the mobile home park business. Well, he never hired me, which was the best thing that ever happened. My dad didn't hire me because I had to go out and make it on my own, and I built a great business. But it took some time. And so I was like father, like son. There's our family portrait. There we go. And how many SOBs in the room? You know, sons of builders. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, a lot of us work for our parents, which is fantastic. Hopefully your company's growing and doubling because of it, right? And so how many said, when I grow up, I want to be in the construction business, the plumbing business, the heating business? How many said that? Like one guy in the whole room. How'd the rest of you get here? The only job you could find? What's the deal? You like being overworked, underpaid, stressed out? You like all that? How's it working for you? Man, I achieved my goals, right? Have no life, right? And so like my dad, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And what I realized is construction entrepreneurs, people who start businesses, are what I call biz builders. We're in the building business. We're building a building and we're building a business. And I am passionate about building my business. I'm turning 70 next month, and I'm still excited about growing my business. I just hired someone to redo my whole website. I'm 70. I don't need the money. I just want it to be better. I want to grow. I want to continue to help contractors and people with their businesses. It's just so exciting to be in the business building business. And so, what do we have to do? We have to continually take risk. We have to continually, we can't stay put and go nowhere. We have to continually have a strong vision and a mission. What's your mission? To help people do what? Perfect projects, perfect completion, perfect quality, perfect safety, a great place to work. What's your vision? What's your mission? Why are you in business? And of course, some other things to think about. We're always growing. Business builders are always growing. We don't get stuck with 3 crews. We keep going. We don't stop. If you want to stop, open a donut store. You got one store and you make donuts. Pretty exciting, huh? No, it's not exciting for me anyway. There's no growth. And I want to make money. I want to make if I'm going to work this hard, I want to be the best in class. I want to make the highest margins. I do a survey, as Ryan knows, of all my clients, and we review the surveys. And we know who makes the money, right? And we know who doesn't and should. And what's the difference? System, structure, people, training, follow-through, meetings. It's all the stuff that busy contractors don't do. If you get focused on what you should be doing, you'll make highest margin. And we got to continually improve. We got apps and, oh my gosh, I got to learn how to use the fax machine. How many of you were scared when the fax machine came out? I know Steve, maybe. And how about, yes, how many's goal was to retire before you had to learn the computer? I know you're in here. And the rest of us are going, I wish those guys would get off QuickBooks onto some software that works, right? Some of you younger guys are saying that about your boss. We're still on QuickBooks? We don't have job costs, man-hour production tracking, every week reports that I can review with my foreman? We don't have that? What, are you kidding me? How do we run a business if we don't have what we need to run our business? Get into the 90s, team. Anyway, so continuous improvement. I want to build a business that works for me as the owner and stockholder, right? So the question is, are you a business builder? And so really I'd like to ask, why are you in business? Are you a business builder? Why are you in business? So ask yourself, why are you in business? Just think about it for a minute. Turn to your partner on the right or the left and just tell them, why are you in business? Really? Ready? Go. Okay, that's enough. I know what I'll do. I know how to get this group. Oh, they didn't all leave. I thought you'd all leave because the Ducks are here, but I'm for the Anaheim Ducks. But anyway, so why are you in business? So what do we hear back here? What did you hear at this table? I heard make money. What else did I hear?
Support our wife's habits.
Support our wife's habits. You're the only honest person in the room. What else? Why else are you in business? Make money. Pardon? So make money. How much? You're making money, right? You're getting revenue. You're making revenue, money. Is it enough? How much profit you want to make? As much as you can. What if it's $1? More. More is not, you can't ever achieve more. As much as I can. You can't achieve that. How much money do you want to make in 2019? Are you with Hajoka? Yeah. Well, I won't pick on you. I'll pick on Costco.
Okay.
So how much money do you want to make?
As much as I can.
As much as you can. Well, what if it's $5?
Not enough.
Not enough. So what's your number? And I'm not going to have you answer it, but is it 100 grand, 200 grand, 400 grand, or $1 million net profit taxable income?
Net profit, probably 8% or better.
Well, 8% of what? What if you only get 100,000 in sales? It's not enough. How much money do you want to make on your tax return in 2019? That's the question. It's not as much as I can. It's not 8% of whatever sales I do. It's a number. If I don't have a goal, I'll never hit it. My goal is as much as I can. I never know when I get there. When my goal is to make money, it's like, you're here. Oh, Hajoka's a whole deal. I bet you if I went on your website, Hajoka's got their whole business plan strung out all over there with goals, and I bet you got a sales goal for the year, right? And a profit goal for the year. It's a number. It's not a percentage, and it's not as much as I can, right? It's a number. Why? Because they're a professional company. I know Hajoka. I won't tell you why. I'll tell you later, off the record. Anyway, so I used to dream about owning the perfect business, the purpose for my business. I used to dream about the perfect business. So what would be, you business owners and managers, what would be the perfect business for you? That's what I want you to think about. That's my vision. That's the vision of what I want. I want a perfect business for me as the owner. Now, if you work for somebody, ask your owner, why are we in business? And run through the same bunch of questions. I always get the same answers, as much as I can, make money. Make me throw up, right? Because they're not goals. How do I measure, right? You know, how many donuts you want to sell? As many as I can. Well, what if it's not enough to pay the rent? And so you don't have a percentage goal. That's like, anyway, that's a whole nother course on financial management. But I used to dream about, so I want to make $1 million a year net profit. I don't care what my sales are. I could care less. $1 million. What do I have to do to make $1 million? I got to build a great place to work. I got to have a management team accountable, responsible for results. I got to have regular team meetings. I got to have written systems and trained systems, rules, procedures for my people. I've got to have customers who don't shop my bids. I got to stop selling low price, and I got to have a business that delivers me freedom and wealth. Now, I don't know what you want. Most people's business is to make as much as you can by working 500 hours a week, and have no life, and have no wealth. You know, the average contractor dies at 65 to 70 with no wealth. Most contractors say, well, I'll sell my business. You cannot sell your business if it doesn't make a profit, if it doesn't have loyal customers, if it doesn't have a management team, not you, a management team, and if it doesn't have regular recurring income, you cannot sell your business. It's worthless. It's only worth what you can liquidate your equipment for. So what do I want my business to be and become? And so I don't know about you, but I want my company to deliver what I want, which is freedom and wealth. And so currently I own, lots of square feet of industrial buildings and office buildings. Why? Because I started back when I was 20 or 30 with the vision to have passive income and dedicate a portion of my day, every week, to achieving my personal goals, not just my mechanical plumbing business goals or general contracting business goals. So think about what you want. My goal is to work a little, make a lot. My goal would be to do like 200 grand a year and make 190. How about that? That'd be good. Well, you can't do that, right? And so I want my business to be on purpose, on target. I want it to grow, and I want it to always make a profit, right? I want it to work. Okay, so when I started my company, I figured it'd be easy. I was out there on the job site. Back then we wore ties and sport coats as a project manager. And I got out of college, I graduated, and went to work for Bechtel as a structural engineer, and then I went to start my own company 3 years later when I was 27, 4 years later, and I built it up. And along the way, I was trying to figure it out. I had $2,000 in the bank, economy was in a recession, my wife was pregnant with our first child, and We just bought our first house. Perfect timing. Start your business, right? That's what risk takers do. They just do it, right? There's no risk here. And so I had everything I needed. I had a used orange Datsun pickup truck. I had pretty much everything I needed. There it is. And what else did I have? I'll never forget my first job. I'm out there as the project manager, superintendent, the foreman, the estimator, the cleanup crew, the make it happen guy. I'm there at 5 a.m. Until, dark 30 and making it happen, right? And we start doing the grading. My grading contractor quits. He gets upset. He gets too busy. Got to fire him, replace him. Then it starts raining and going to Home Depot, getting some plywood. Then it starts raining. And so what do? Of course, you go to the rail yard and you get a pump, right? And I'm pumping out all the footings, trying to keep the job going. Doing it to myself, trying to save money. Doing it myself. I'm on a fee. It doesn't matter if I save any money. I'm not on a lump sum. I'm on a monthly fee. It's just my brains. It's our brains as contractors. We try to cheapen our way to success. We try to do things ourselves and save the most rather than invest in the future. And so I'm off getting a pump, and now I'm down in the ditch, pumping the water out down in the hole. And I finally realized you can't get rich with a head in the ditch. And that's what I realized. That was the big problem. The more you do yourself, the less you make as a company. The more I do, the less I make. The more decisions I make, the less people do for me. And so I want you to think about your business and what I need to do over the next couple days to make it better. So the first thing I always ask is, what do I want? What do I want my business to do? What do I want my business? What do business owners want? And so I write articles every month for 5 or 6 magazines. I'm in Metal News, For Construction Pros, Masonry Magazine. I'm in Construction Business Owner Magazine every month. And I get a lot of emails. And the emails always are the same. Help! I've been doing the same thing for 20 years. I'm still making no money, and I don't know what I need to do next. What do I do? Help! That's how they always start. I got 2 this morning. I'd read one if I could find it on my phone here real quick, but we don't have time. So the question is, what do you want? I want my business to give me what I want. I want my business to give me what I want. And I want a management team to run my company. I want continuous growth. I want customers who don't shop my bids. I don't want to win work by selling cheap. I want to have a great team that's accountable and responsible to do things. I want to have written business systems. What else do I want? I want to know my numbers. I want to make best-in-class, high-margin profits that allows me to find investment properties to put my money in so I can retire someday without having to keep doing plumbing and heating, right? That's what I want. Or turn it over to my kids with something of value, right? And so the question is, what do you want? What do you want? I don't know what you want. I love to play golf with my wife and my friends. We were over there in Ireland a couple years ago at Old Head. I'm going there next in July this year with my wife. That'll be fun. And so I want my business to allow me to take some time off and have the money and not have to worry about it. So what do I have to do? So the question as you sit here is, what do you want? Do you want money, which is trying to make as much money as you can? It's a little bit of money. Or do you want to make happiness, which is a lot more money? Now, I'm not a firm, money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. It's not money. Money allows you to hire better people, work with better customers. When you're making best money, you can train people. You can invite them to the conference. How many of you are foremen in the audience today? Any foremen here? Why not? Why not? How many superintendents are here? Why not? Because I can't invest in my people because I don't have time or money, right? What am I doing about my future? I want to be best. I want to invite the best. I want to have the best. So I want you to think about your company and how you run your company. You can't just keep hoping it gets better. So, maybe I'm hitting you a little hard, and that's what I do. I love to beat people up and then bring them back up happy. Make them smile at the end, So anyway, the key to success is real simple, step by step. Step 1, I've got the steps to success is step 1, I've got to know what I want. So I've got to have specific, clear, written business plans, targets, and goals. I got to know my financial goals. I want to do 5 million revenue. I want to have a 1.5 million gross profit, and I want to make a net profit of $500,000. Those are specific targets that I can hit. I want to have a bid hit win ratio at what? 33%. I want to get 1 out of 3. I want to have 5 loyal customers that give us all their work because they love us and I take care of them. And then the rest I'll have to bid cheap. What else do you want? I want to have a management team. I want to have a field manager who's going to run my crews and every job comes in on budget because I give them job cost tracking every week. What do you want? That's the key question. What do you want you're not getting? So when people call me for coaching help, that's where we start. What do you want to happen? Looking back 1, 3, and 5 years from today, where do you want your company to be? What do you want your role to be? What do you want your people's role to be? What's working, what's not working? What do I need to do to get to the next level? Once I know what I want, then and only then can I draft a blueprint or a plan, and I call mine the Biz Builder Blueprint Action Plan. And then I can draw a blueprint. Remember these? Anybody remember these? If you're under 40, you've probably never seen one. This is a blueprint that's been faded. Used to be blue, now it's yellow, right? So this is a building I built in 1973. I actually owned a piece of it. Actually, 83, I'm sorry. And it's great because I still get rent from it, right? I threw in my contractor fee and I still get 10% ownership, right? I still get my $700 a month, which is pretty nice for doing nothing, right? Except owning it, right? So what's your plan? So if my plan is to get 6 million, I can build a plan. If my plan's 5 new customers, I can build a plan. If my plan's make as much as you can, I don't know where to start. If my current profit is 200 grand, I want to get to 400 grand, I have to come up with a plan to find another 200,000 in profit. So there's 77 options: better customers, better jobs, better specialty, change my markup, better crew, better productivity. There's 15 things we can do, but the question is, what do I need to do, right, to make that happen? So the question is, what's your plan? Then, of course, we have to have a tracking system, a scoreboard, a scorecard. Where's my scorecard here? We got to have a written scorecard, a scorecard to keep track of where I am. So every month I have to review my financials. Every week I have to sit down with my foreman and go through their man-hour budget versus man-hour spent by cost code to determine if we're on budget or over budget. And at the end of the job, I got to look at my bid versus actual to compare and see if I made a good estimate or not. You know, what is a perfect bid to me? What's a perfect bid? It's when your bid cost equals your actual cost. It's not when your foreman makes more money. To me, that's a bad bid. The estimator bid it too fat. It's when my bids are perfect. So I don't know what your goals are, what your vision is, how much time you want to work, how many weeks off, how many months off you want a year. What do you want the value of your business to be when you're 50, 60, 70 years old? I don't know. But if I don't have a plan, it's definitely not going to happen. And your plan's going to look like this piece of paper. So I want you to think about your business and how you run your business. Are you a professional business manager? Would I rehire you to run your company or to manage your field or to manage your part of the business? And that's the hard thing to think about. So I passed out my one-page business plan. If you want one, they're on the table there. I think there's enough for everybody. Some of your tables might be light, but I know there's enough for everybody. You can grab one before we leave. And this is what I call the Biz Builder Blueprint of the things I need to have specific targets and goals. So based on our time this morning, we'll walk through as much as we can of it. So I want you to really sit down and ask yourself, before you get started with improving your company, is what do I want? That would be on the first page. It says vision, targets, and goals. There's a vision, there's strategies, and targets and goals. And so what do I want? So if I look at my current results, you're pretty much, most of us achieve the same pretty much year after year. We're just kind of in that zone. That's what we do. Same customers, same foreman, same crew, same suppliers, same this, same that, same project. Everything's the same, so we just keep getting the same. which most of us in the room is not really what I want. I'm not getting exactly everything I want. I'm getting a little bit of it. I'm pretty much average. I'm not best in class. So what do I have to do to move to the next level and get better results? What do I have to do? That's the question you have to ask yourself when you leave a great conference like this. What do I have to do? And this is what I call the improvement or the leader gap. This is the gap that the leader's willing or unwilling to do different to get different results. So if you're willing to do something different, you're going to improve. If you're not willing to fire that poor performer who's been on your crew way too long, how many of you have somebody in your company that you really shouldn't work for your company? And they're sitting at your table. That was a joke. I know. But why do we keep tolerating poor performers? Everybody, I can't find any good help. Right? Well, you don't even look. Do you have I get all, how do I find good help? Well, first of all, you got an ad in the paper, right? No? Okay. Why'd you even call? This is like, how stupid are you, right? And so you can continue to make excuses and do business the same, or you can actually be a tough business owner, manager, and do something about your future. So the question is, what do I have to do different? So if I have if I look at Fortune 500 companies, if I look at the CEO of Hajoka or who else is in the audience here? We've got Moen and some of the other big suppliers out here. Who else is a big company here? Who are you with? Somebody I just pointed. Oh, Pfizer, right? Pfister. I can't say it. Are you a supplier? Yeah, Pfister, right? Faucets and things? Yep. You're a big company, right? You got a CEO of the company, right? You got offices all over the place, right? What does the CEO focus on of a big company? What do they focus on? What do they do different? They focus on results. They focus on results. So what results am I going to measure your performance on? If you're a foreman, it's production hours versus budget. Accidents, no punch list. End of story. That's it. Those three things. Equipment utilization, if you got a lot of equipment. Most of us in the room don't. If you're a civil contractor, you got a lot. You're doing underground pipelines. What else? If you're a project manager, contract conformance, on budget, on schedule. Those three things, period. That's it. I don't care about how busy you are. Don't give me all these excuses. It's all about, did we hit the numbers? I gave you a budget. Did you hit it? I gave you a schedule. Did you hit it? And what did you do about making it happen, right? If you're a business owner, what are you focused on? CEOs focus on the value of the business. Is your business value increasing? Your net worth of your business, your equity in your business, your return on equity growing. If it's not growing, you don't keep your job. What about your profits? Are you achieving your profit goals? Do you have profit goals? Are they written down? Do you track them every week? Do you know your numbers? Quarterly earnings, profit. What do I do? Quarterly earnings, profit, and then growth. Are you growing? You will not keep your job working for me if your company is not growing with higher margin work. What do I have to do to achieve higher margins? Better customers, better productivity, better systems, better people, right? The 5 Ps, I don't know, maybe I missed one there. But that's what it's all about. It's all about profit, protection, and production. And that'll make your value of your business go up, your net worth. That'll make your customers want to hire you more, growth, and it'll make you make some money. So you can invest in passive income, long-term investments that'll achieve your freedom and wealth goals. But most of us spend all our time on estimates, bids, contracts, sales, production, schedule, material, equipment, ordering, crews, project, I clicked too fast. Project managers, foremen, people, job costs, change orders. We're all worried about the minors and we don't look at the majors. Most business owners, when I meet with them, haven't looked at their financials yet from last year. CPAs hadn't got around to them yet. It's not April. How'd you do last year? I don't know. I don't have the report. Well, did your jobs come on budget? Well, I don't know. Some of them maybe, I think. How's your crew doing right now on that job they're on? I'm not really sure. Well, how do you run your business with your hands over your eyes? The question is, would I hire you to run your company and manage your field or manage your projects if you don't know your numbers and you don't manage your people? And so what happens is every day we come to a fork in the road and we make a decision with our calendar. Where am I going to spend my time? Am I going to keep doing things the same, or am I going to do things to grow and profit? What am I going to do to make a difference? Most of us keep going to the same, and we don't do anything different. So think about yourself and why you're here and how to get a return on your time, ROT, right? Return on energy, ROE, right? I love this cartoon. The little kid says to the teacher, "Teacher, you'll find that my test results are a pretty good indicator of your abilities as a leader. Just show me your tax return. Just show me your P&L for last year. Show me your WIP schedule, your work in progress. Show me your production scorecards versus your estimates. Just show me that, and in 1 minute, I'll know if you know what you're doing. Because if you don't, you just keep going, working hard, hope you make money. And that's not why we're in business." Okay, I've got to stop for 1 second. I've got to make sure I'm on time here. Yeah, we're good. I'm good. All of a sudden, I had a brain drain. I'm good for, I thought I had 5 minutes. I have an hour, but I'm not going to go a whole hour. I'll go way less than that. Okay, so what's your scorecard? Let's talk about what should be on your scorecard. I don't know about you, but there's me playing Pebble Beach number 7, the most beautiful hole in the world, except for maybe Cypress number 15 and 16. But those are the best. That's beautiful. But I got a scorecard. Every time I play golf, I know exactly how I'm doing. So I got a scorecard. So I want you to ask yourself, in basketball, everybody knows the score. Everybody knows how many goals they've sunk, how many baskets, their free throw. Everybody knows. Can you imagine no score if I'm on a crew? If I'm a foreman on a crew and I didn't know the score? How many hours I'd spent versus the budget? Can you imagine? Now, if I did a poll here, how many of you, your foremen, know where they are every Monday? I'll bet you it would be less than, what the answer. What's the answer, Ryan? 10%? Maybe? Yeah. Well, how do you make any money if the guys in the field don't know what the goals are? It's like, that's just like a whole 5-hour workshop. But that's just one thing, right? So let's look at some things that we could build your future with. Here's some ideas. Number one, just jot down an idea or two. I want to grow only with higher margin work. If I'm currently bidding at 15, I want to get at 17 on those. 10, 12, whatever it is. I want to increase my net profit by $250,000 in 2019, moving into next year. These are just ideas. Just something for you to put on your scorecard. What else? Maybe we could improve my bid hit win ratio. That's how many jobs you bid to how many you get, how many you win. I want to improve it. I wanted to get it from 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 3. If you're not at 1 out of 3, you're the cheap guy in town, and you're getting 1 out of 10 because you're bidding all cheap work. Why aren't you bidding the hard work? Well, it's hard to get in with good customers who negotiate with good contracts. It's hard. It takes effort. It means I have to get out of my chair and go see people and take them to lunch and take them to the Utah Jazz or whatever I've got to do, right? Maybe I want to have 5 new or 5 loyal customers who give us more work. I don't know what your goal is for this year. Here's some ideas. I want to build a management team. Maybe I need a general superintendent. Maybe I need another project manager. Maybe I need an estimator who can add. Maybe I need a foreman, another crew. I don't know what it is. I want to have some help. Maybe I need a controller who knows what a WIP schedule is and knows what markup ought to be for a plumbing and heating contractor in my town rather than a bill payer, right? Maybe I need to hire a couple of PMs, superintendents, foremans. Maybe I need to improve my field productivity 10%. What can I do about that? Well, if I don't have a goal, it'll never happen. Maybe I can install a job cost tracking system. Maybe I can install 10 written systems, 1 a month for the next 10 months. I don't know which one of these will help, but I know if you just pick one or two items, maybe I want to take 10 new systems, maybe I want to take some time off. I don't know what it is, but the question is, what's going to be on your scorecard, on your results list of what I want, my vision and results. What do I want? What do I want to do different for the rest of the year? But I know we have a lot of challenges. So I always say no score, no game, no winner. So we have a lot of challenges. I've had a lot of challenges. We had some equipment issues on a job. We had some spelling issues. It's spelled wrong. I don't know if you knew. We had some cement problems. We've had some engineering issues. We've had some equipment issues. We've had some electrical safety problems. We've had a lot of problems on our jobs. That's me as a young boy before I lost all my hair. And we've had people who have no clue which way we're going. And of course, I don't
know about you, but I hate Mondays.
Here we go. Oh no! There we go. Well, the good news is that was the inspector. That was the plumbing inspector. Okay, so we all got issues. This is a tough business. So how do most companies grow? So let's walk through this quickly, and then I'll just give you some ideas before we close. First of all, most companies start out whether one person's got the vision to start their business. How many of you started your company? Quite a few, I'm sure. Oh, a lot of you. Way to go. Just like me, crazy people, right? Whatever you want to call it. I can't think of the word, but we're driven to make it happen, right? We're different. We're goofy. We want to go work for ourselves, right? So we're pretty good at what we do, and then we go out, we start a company, and we become the self-employed, hands-on business owner who pretty much does everything, makes all the decisions. You might have a few guys on your crew. You might, and it's what I call stuck in a truck with low bucks. I came up with a new one this morning. Stuck in a truck with a loan and a cell phone in the no profit zone. How about that one? Anyway, it's a work in progress, right? I used to just say Chuck stuck in a truck with no bucks, right? And so we're it. I saw a lot of you out on the hall there at the break, on your cell phones. Go do this, go do this. Don't forget to pick up that while you're out there. And while you're there, call the guy and do this. I know you're out there. I saw you, about half of you, a third of you. It's like, why? Why? Because you don't have anybody else who's accountable and responsible, and you won't pay what you need to pay to get the right people in place, right? Just do it. What are you waiting for? Economy's going to get slower soon. Get it now before it dies, right? So then we got to get to the next level. This is a little bigger. You might have 3 or 4 crews now. Maybe you've got a project manager. Maybe you got an estimator. But you're still the decision maker. You're still Superman, Superwoman, making all the decisions, still controlling everybody, not letting anybody spend any money without checking with you first, et cetera, et cetera. And you have no systems. All the systems are written in your head, which means they're not worth the paper they're not written on, right? And then, of course, that's where most companies get stuck forever. Most companies stay there forever. 19 out of 20 companies stay there forever, and the owner is stressed out, overworked, underpaid, has no life, and is going, help, every day. It's a pain to go to work every day. All that pressure to make not enough money for the risk you take. It's just so much work when you keep doing the same thing, and the same thing keeps happening, and you don't do anything about it. And so we get stuck on that level, and you won't make any decisions. And then a few people, 1 out of 10, one out of 5 companies make a decision to do something about their future, and they go back to that vision, that dream to build a great business, build a best-in-class business, build a company that works, put in some systems, know my numbers, track my numbers, hire a management team, install some systems, get some people around me that are professional so we can do better work at higher margins for better customers. And that's what I want you to think about. What do I have to do to get there? Where I don't have to stress every day about everything. So eventually I can be a business owner. I can own a best-in-class business. My business works. I don't have to be there every day. I've got great people to run my business, and it works for me the way I want it to work. And I got to remember, the more I do, the less it's not going to happen. So the question is, your business works, right? So the question is, where are you? Are you stuck? Most people don't even know their business is stuck. Just look in your truck. Look at your cell phone. How many calls did you take and make today? How many bids did you work on today? How many calls did you have to tell somebody for the 5th time what to do? Look at your office. It's a nightmare, right? We call in the same customers, using the same software, using the same bid proposal, using the same unit prices forever. And it's the problem, it's the same customers and the same job types. And we don't have good estimating and job cost tracking software. We're still using the 10-key and QuickBooks or whatever, or a yellow pad and a pencil, right? And some employees with the same excuses and we tend to tolerate poor performers. We don't replace them fast enough. We don't bench them and train them or upgrade them. We just stick with what we got. And, I can't find any help. Well, duh, there aren't any. Get over it, right? And so what am I going to do? So I don't know about you, but when I play golf and I get stuck in a trap, that's me in a big trap there in England, actually Scotland, you take out a sand wedge. How many people are golfers here? Okay, four. How many of you own clubs? Okay, almost everybody. You ever looked at the sand wedge? The sole is different. Every club, the sole digs into the grass. The sand wedge bounces off the grass. Why? It's different. It's trying to solve a problem. It's a different tool. And that's what I want you to think about. What different tool do I need to install to get unstuck, to get to the next level? That's the tough question for you. So the question where we are today is, what's your business potential? If you really look at your company, what potential do you have? Top line, I don't care. Bottom line. Bottom line potential. Forget money. How do we improve the bottom line? What potential? You've got some people that could be better. You need the job cost track. You don't have good software. Your estimating is not really up to speed. Your customer's kind of shoppy. You need to find some new ones. What else can you do? You don't have any recurring revenue customers. What else could I do to improve the company overall? So we go out and we get some sales, continuous sales, and eventually it pops through after we pay our overhead, and we're supposed to be striving for value, profit, and growth. But we've got this valve, this funny little valve. I don't know, maybe it's a I don't know. Well, who's the supplier out here? Mr. Peterson? Well, who makes that valve?
Boy, nothing we sell.
Nothing you say is not good enough, right? Okay, so we got a valve, right? So the question for you is, what's shutting off your valve? Is it you? Is it a lack of people? Is it lack of systems? Is it lack of knowing your numbers? What's your shut-off valve? What's causing you to leak money? What do I need to do to fix my business? So when you leave this conference, you have a challenge. Challenge is, what 2 or 3 things are you going to do to improve your company? That's the real question. We've got all these workshops, all these seminars. That's really the key. And so as I was building my business, I got in the same boat that we're all in. There I am out on a job early on, and you're getting a little out of control. Things are crazy. You don't know what's happening. So you hire some help. You hire the most trusted help that you can find. Who's that? Your relatives, right? How many of you have a relative that works for you that you wish didn't? Oh, the hands go down. I saw about 5 hands go down. Success is relative. The more success, the more relatives, right? Now, why is that? Because we can't make them accountable. We don't hold them accountable. It's hard to hold, just like our people, it's hard to hold accountable, right? Why? We don't have system, structure, and anything. So we try to hire great people, And so we finally hire a bookkeeper, and she brings you this chart, and it says, George, you ran out of money. Now what are we going to do? And so I think about, what's the solution? So if I look at my day, the contractor's dilemma, first of all, I'm too busy. I don't have any plans. I don't have any written plans. So I fight fires all day, and I lose efficiency and money out in the field. Money goes down the drain. Money goes down the drain every day. So where do I start? Good people or good systems? The answer is yes. You need both. You can't have one without the other. So I go back to being a head coach. What do I need to do to win the NC2A or to win the Super Bowl? What do I need to do? I got to have a vision. I got to have a playbook. I got to have a strategy. I got to have the best players available that I have to pay top dollar to. I've got to do what I need to do. I got to stop being in control. I got to stop telling everybody what to do all day. I got to get people in place and delegate to them. I've got to stop being in control. I've got to stop juggling everything. I've got to stop hiring and allowing people to run my business instead of me ask them to be accountable and responsible. How many of you, I did a survey of over 2,000 contractor supervisors, foremen, owners, managers. I spoke at World of Concrete in January this year. There was 2,500 people in my courses. And I did a little survey. I said, how many of you are stupid? And the survey came back, 1 out of 3 people in construction, plumbing and heating especially, are stupid. Do you know that? Turn to your left. Turn to your right. If it's not them, it's you. Okay? So I was looking for a young project manager, and I ran an ad, and I got these resumes in. My lifetime goal is to be a NASCAR driver. But since I don't have any experience in that, I'm going to try managing plumbing. It's best for employers I not work with people. Reason for leaving my last job. They insisted I start work at 8 a.m. Could not work under those conditions. How about this one? I love this one. Please don't misunderstand my last 12 jobs in 5 years as job hopping. I have never quit a job. Oh, okay. So anyway, so what we have to do is think about, what do I need? I can't find any help. I can't find any good people. I can't find any good help. What am I going to do? Well, I got to get in the pro. I got to have systems and training, and I got to pay the best, right? So you hire managers. Problem with managers, if you don't have any systems, they keep bringing you questions, and so you become a full-time problem solver. Well, why do you even need people if they just keep coming to you to ask you all the questions? Well, you know why they come to you? Because you don't let them make any decisions. And so it's a vicious circle. And so I did an org chart of most companies. It looks like this. We think everybody, I go home from after work, and I can't find any accountable help. All I got is stupid people. That's because you keep them stupid. You don't let them make a decision. And so I looked at my org chart, I redrafted it, and I came up with this: sales, estimating, project manager, superintendent, foreman, and finance. And then there's me. And I finally realized that my name was in every box as the decision maker. So I realized when I'm 100% accountable for everything, nothing happens. And so I got the problem. It's me. So do I have written player positions so everybody knows clearly what their job description is? And so a good org chart looks like this. First of all, we have somebody in your company 100% accountable for sales to get high margin work. Now, if you're in some of you suppliers, that's you, right? You're here. Your job is to get repeat loyal customers who don't shop your bid, right? That's your goal, right? Well, that's the contractor's goal is too. We just don't do any sales. Turn in a bid, wait for the phone to ring. I hope they call. Oh, they don't. Okay, I'll bid more. Anyway, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. So number 2 is we got to have somebody 100% accountable to make sure your bids are accurate. That's not an estimator. That's somebody in charge of the numbers. We have somebody in charge to make sure all the projects are perfect, on budget, on schedule, documented, change orders signed and approved, the rates are accurate, et cetera, right? No accidents. And what else? I need somebody to give me timely, weekly accounting reports of job cost tracking, job cost tracking, work in progress, completed contract schedules, P&L, payroll reports turned in, et cetera, fully integrated with my accounting department. That's what I need. I don't need like 5 different ways to do numbers. It's all got to be tied together. I need somebody to do that. And so I don't know where you are. What do I need to do to build a strong management team? Do I have written player descriptions? Do my people know what their jobs are? Do they know what their level of authority is? Do they know what they're accountable for? Because if they don't, they just do their best. We get upset because they can't read our minds because it's not written down, right? And so we got problems trying to get it all done. You go out to a job site and you come back. Anybody ever come back with a piece of drywall or some scratch pad, a bunch of notes all over your head? Okay, I'll do that for you. Okay, I'll take care of that. Oh, you need that too? I'll do that for you too. We become the yes person to our people who report to us. Now we're the subordinate to them because we've got their list on our plate. What's going on here? Made me crazy years ago. I ended up going to the doctor and they said, George, you're in bad shape. You got golfer's foot, back, tennis elbow, speaker's foot, and contractor's brain. That's the problem. Okay. So what's the answer? What's the answer? Good people or good systems? Good people or good systems? If you own a McDonald's, is it good people or good systems? Good systems, right? Who follow the systems. People follow the systems. Do you have written, trained systems in your company? If you're the cook, who decides how many pickles go on a hamburger? Who decides in your field what's the welding or the solder or the copper or the fitting or the this or the that for your plumbing, mechanical, heating, how many straps for a water heater, et cetera, right? Who decides? Do you have a company standard or you just let the foreman do it any way they want? If you don't have standards, what do you get? You get lost profits, right? So how do I get my company to do the same thing every time, right? And so I need systems and a playbook, right? And lastly, I need to know, I got to stay in touch with my people. You would never be a head coach unless you had a regular team meeting. You've got to get your players together and review the results, the training, the systems, the processes of how you run your business. So eventually, you can make some money. So where's my book here? I wrote a book a couple years ago called Everything Contractors Know About Making a Profit. If you'd like a copy, let me know. I don't know if you've seen the inside. It's pretty much blank. But here you go. Give it to one of your customers. Are you a contractor?
I'm an estimator.
There you go. You can read it.
All right.
Might take you a while. Tell your boss you're reading the book on how to track job costs. So the question is, what do I have to do? Do you know the profit I should make? Do I have a goal? What's my goal? What's my bid hit ratio goal? What's my profit goal? How much markup can I get? What do my competitors charge? Do I track my production hours? Do I have scorecards? Do I have accurate estimates? Do I know my numbers? If the answer is maybe, it's not good enough. And so let me skip through this slide here. I want to get to the end here. So we'd have to have scorecards. Every player on a baseball team knows their score, except for the first bat up for the year, right? But you go to the next game, the 5th game, everybody knows everybody's score. Everybody on your crew needs to know their score every day, every week. And so, do you have money goals? Do you have any goals? Do you have scorecards that your people track? Do you track their budget, their expenses, et cetera, all the things we want to talk about? The return on overhead, our bid hit ratio, all those kinds of things. Do you track your crew hours? Here's the budget, here's the actual, here's where you're over under. And lastly, do you have a business development, skip this, I'm going to cover this tomorrow. Do you have a business development, marketing, and sales plan? A written plan where your goal is to stay off the low bid treadmill and get better work. Do you have a plan to attack better work? And so think about your future and where you want to go. And lastly, balanced life, wealth, and investments, right? That's the key here. So let me skip through this. All right, balanced life, wealth investments. What are you doing about your future? Okay, so I don't know where you are. Hopefully I didn't shake you up too much this afternoon. Hopefully I made you think about a few things. If I can just kick you a little bit, maybe it makes you think. So what do I do next? What do I do next? You know, I'm thinking about all the decisions I have to make, all the problems I got to worry about, all the things I got to do. I got my finger in the dam. I'm trying to juggle everything. I'm trying to run in place and get off the treadmill. Man, I don't know where you are. Sometimes I just get depressed and I take out a notepad and I draw my self-portrait. Kind of looks like this sometimes. The only thing I need is a little fertilizer, right? I don't know how you feel sometimes, but it's tough. So it takes me back to my blueprint. And we'll just think about, what do I need to do to implement a blueprint? So first of all, I can just, okay, I'm overwhelmed. I'm just going to go back and hope it gets better. I'm going to sit and wait for it to change. Or I can make a decision to what? To do something, or sit, or wait, or do nothing. Or number three, I can decide to do something. So I would encourage you to think about building a plan, what I call my Biz Builder blueprint. And so if we look at it, we've got some ideas to think about. And why don't we make these decisions? Why don't we make these decisions? What happens is we have a vision when I start my business, but things get in the way. The company goes along, and then we hit what I call a roadblock, a growth roadblock where I get stuck. And we get stuck at a level of where I control the company. I'm the valve. What am I doing or shouldn't be doing? If I'm the field manager, what am I doing out in the field? If my sales aren't improving, if I'm a rep for a distributor, it's not them, it's me. What do I need to do different? So I reach a growth barrier, a decision barrier. What do you think the decision barrier is in most instances? Number one, it's fear. What am I afraid of? Well, if I try something new, it might not work. What if I hire somebody that might not work out? What if I get a new kind of job and I get it and I don't make enough money? What if I, okay, I won't do anything. What if I let go, delegate? What if I hire somebody and put them in charge? Oh, scary, isn't it? That's the key to success, the inability or the ability to delegate and hire and trust a responsible management team. Or maybe I need to go out and get some new customers, but I don't really like to sell. I don't really want to invest money in marketing, so I'll just keep bidding work and hope it gets better. Well, if you read the news, you know it's going to get slower in the next 5 years. The AGC and the ABC are predicting a 5% shrinkage in the next 2 years for sure. And in residential, it's down as much as 30 and 40% in some markets. I know here it's booming, but who knows, right? It's eventually going to slow down. What am I need to do about getting better customers? When there's only bid work, there's only going to be bid work and too many competitors. I got to get out and get some recurring customers, right? I got to do something different, and I got to put in some systems so I can improve field productivity, right? So think about what I need to work on. So as we walk through the blueprint, I'm just going to give you a couple ideas, and then we'll kick you off to the next session. First thing I got to do, and this is sort of a pictorial of the blueprint. And so the first thing is I got to realize I've got something holding me back. What's holding you back? What's shutting off your valve? And so if I look at my company, you know, I've got a vision, I've got a goal, I'm stuck a little bit. I look at my org chart, how I fit, what I'm accountable and responsible for. I've got too much on my plate, I'm doing too much myself. I probably need some help. I've got to be willing to take some risks. I've got to be willing to get over on the get better work side of the business. I'm stuck over on the do work. I've got to get out of my office and go get better, different, juicier, higher margin work, recurring revenue potential work as well. How do I do that? Well, I can't go get more work unless I get my company fixed. So chicken or the egg, right? And so think about what I have to do. I got to have a plan. So I want you to think about what's on your plan. I got to know my vision. I got to know my mission, my motto. I got to know my core values. And with that, I can build my goals, and I can build my org chart, and I can build my strategy, and I can achieve my investment targets and goals. And on the back, I can create a financial plan, and I can have a marketing plan, sales plan, get better work plan, and at the bottom right of the back sheet, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have a series of accountability sessions or meetings with my team. So think about what I'm going to do to get the results. So first thing I have to do is take some risk, be willing to let go. I've got to be willing to hire, delegate, trust others, build a strong management team, which is right here. It says org chart. I need good people. What do I need to do? Who do I need to hire, fire, replace, train, improve? I need to get more people. I need to build another crew. I need to promote from within. What do I need to do to build a culture of promotion from within in my company? What am I doing about that? And so I've got my org structure. I've got to look at myself and what can I do to get over on the get work side of the business. I've got to get people in place, and then I can do more get work for my company, right? And so I've got to set up a series of meetings. If I have a regular foreman meeting every Thursday afternoon, I don't have to call them all day. They all come in at Thursday at 3 o'clock, and we go through all the jobs every Thursday. If I meet with my project manager and my estimator every Monday morning, pretty much got that handled. Now I'm free for the week. I'm not answering the phone all day. Maybe we have to have a logistics meeting twice a week where we decide who goes where, right? And then we make sure we get some of our systems. What systems are costing us money because we don't have written systems? And then I need some scorecards. My field crews need to know their job cost, how they're doing every week. Before we start a job, we've got to have a turnover handoff meeting from estimating to the job team, and we've got to go over the budgets and the goals and the action plans and what we figured in the budget. And we've got to have an investment wealth building program. Somewhere along the line, we've got to fit it into the mold here. Once I get sort of organized a little bit, I can get over on the get more work side of the business. I can get over to growing my business, focusing on growth. I can build a business development plan to call on so many customers a week, go see them, build a better book of business, stop bidding the guys who we never get any work from, only bid the ones that actually we really enjoy working for, etc., and try to build some better relationships and differentiating factors. So, that's the thought. So it all comes down to a plan. What's your plan? So I do have this blueprint with about 10 subfiles in it on an Excel spreadsheet. And if you want it, all you can do is email me. I'll give my email at the end. And I will email you my working template. Everybody here will have it. It's all there. You just got to fill in the blanks. And so it's first page, second page, all the financial formulas. You know, the first thing I do if we look at the financial page, I always start with how much profit you want to make and work from there. If I know your profit and I know your overhead, I divide it by your margin, and that tells me the sales you got to do. And then I know I have to go get 6 million, 5 million, 3 million of sales, 20 million, whatever your number is. If you want to make $1 million and your overhead's $1 million, we need to make 2 million gross profit. If your average margin's 10%, we got to do 20 million. It's really simple. I got a whole plan. I don't even need a calculator. It's not like try to make 5% of 8% of 12% of whatever I can do. Right? Okay, so that's my offer. And skip a couple slides here, and then we'll close out. Okay, so I don't want you to come back next year. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I want you to think about what I need to do different. I want you to think about what do I have to change. I got to change me, the way I lead, the way I manage, the way I do business, the way I get business, the way I track my numbers, the way I work with people, the way I tolerate poor performers or not, the way I hire only the best and pay the best to attract the best. I've got to look at how I do business. And I've got to make some tough decisions to get to the next level. I've got to protect my profit at all costs, and I've got to produce higher margins at all costs. That's my challenge. What am I going to do to make that happen? Okay, when you get home, what's the best way to get my business to work? Grow and make higher margins, right? That's the key. Okay, so when I get home, I know we've got a lot of competition, especially in Salina, right? Don't go to Salina. I've been told to say that. There's no work there, and there's no work. There's nothing there. Don't go to Salina. There's nothing behind the curtain. Don't go to Salina. But there's competitors chasing you. How many of you have a competitor in this room that you wish wasn't in business? I know they're here. I know you got them in your brain, right? Especially you wholesale suppliers. So business is tough. Just when things are going the right way, something happens, right? Something happens. Those guys are out there trying to chase you down. This is a tough business, right? Things are crumbling around you. Crews don't show up. Your trucks break down. Guys show up at the wholesale house and buy stuff for their side jobs on the weekend. We've all been there, right? Oh, man. But just remember, you can't get rich with your head in the ditch. The more you do, the less you make. The more your people do for you, the more you can do for your company. It's really all about you and the valve. So what am I going to do? I'm going to implement the blueprint. I'm going to implement the Biz Builder blueprint and think about what I need to do. So, do I need a written plan? Yeah. What do I need to delegate? What do I need to let go of? I need some stronger managers. What do I need? I need to have some meetings. Check. I need to track my job costs. Check. I need to know my financials. Check. I need to get better customers. Check. I need to stop bidding cheap work to customers that don't give me any work. Check. I need to get higher, better results. Check. So the question is, what are you going to do when you get home? So all I want you to do is commit to a couple things. That's my challenge for you today. Send me an email. It's on the blue sheet and the white sheet, and I will gladly send you a copy of my blueprint. I'm going to stick around, and I'll see you tonight, and I'll be back tomorrow. If you want a copy of my book, come up and see me. Got a super hot deal for you today. So, and if you can't afford it, it's free. All right? Thank you. Thanks, guys.